Okay, good morning. Welcome to UltimateProject20. Today I'm going to take a look at the truck stop Doublewide game from the 2011 Colorado Cup Finals. This is a game that Doublewide wins 15-11, I think. And you know, I wasn't expecting to do this game, but Hurricane Irene canceled our little mini vacation we were going to do this weekend, so I had a little bit of extra time. So it was a fun game to go through, and I think of the games I've gone through so far in UltiVillage's Elite Team Partnership Program, I think this one has some of the better lessons, both for young teams, young players getting started, and also for elite teams. You really get to see why Doublewide is separating themselves from everybody, with the exception of Revolver. So for me, from the teams I've seen so far, it looks like Revolver and Doublewide are, you know, a step ahead of everybody at this point in the season. Obviously, it's early in the season and that kind of stuff can change, but those two teams are playing very well right now. So let's take a look at the stats. Truck stop, 142 passes, 14 turns, about 90%. Doublewide, 139 passes, 10 turns, that's what, 93%-ish? So, you know, they're turning it over sort of about the same percentage as everyone else's, and as I've said in all these tapes, the turns are almost entirely unforced. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about Doublewide's turns because they're particularly perplexing. After truck stop turns the disc, Doublewide has a long field 9 times and only converts 2, so that is something they really are not going to be happy about. Medium and long field, or medium and short field, sorry, 5 times they convert 3. These short conversions in particular are really bad for Doublewide. Doublewide has a very strange concentration issues that I'll talk about in a second. After Doublewide turns, truck stop has a long field 7 times converts 1. Again, really bad. Medium and short field, though, they take advantage of the gifts that Doublewide gives them. They score 3 out of 3 times on the short turns. So good for truck stop. Okay, so I want to talk about the Hucks in this game, but I'm going to do that last. I'm going to talk a little bit about Doublewide's play in this game now. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to get to the Hucks in a second, which is a great lesson in this game. But first I want to point out some 2 points, and there's a couple more, but these 2 make the point. 2 points where Doublewide has great flow. They don't score in 1 or 2 passes, but they just work the disc up the field. The first point I'd focus on is the first point of the game. Starts at 1:37 on the film and goes till about 3 minutes. There's nothing exciting about Doublewide's offense here. Any team from the high school level all the way up to the elite level can do anything that's in this point. They just take what truck stop gives them. They're not forcing the issue at all. Everything's two-handed catches, so you see a great concentration from them and great spacing. I mean, this is usually what screws up younger teams, is everyone's trying to cut and everyone's trying to do everything. Here, it's, you know, people go to space, they're not getting in each other's way, it's usually the right person making the cut. This is really nice offense by Doublewide on this first point. And the second point, after a turn, they get the disc at around 3:49 in the film. This point over here is Doublewide's O team. This is their D team. And the interesting thing about this point is it takes a while to get going. They don't fall into really great offense initially, but and that happens. The great thing is that they're not forcing anything. They're just swinging it back and forth. The handlers are playing catch, and eventually something develops, and they get a nice little huck out to space. This huck's maybe a little harder, so it's not something that maybe, you know, a high school team could do or something like that. But it's not out of the question. This is really nice, straightforward offense. Not trying to force anything. Really, really nice play by Doublewide. Now let's talk about some times where it's not as good. Okay, so here's an area to point out where Doublewide's not quite as good. And in all honesty, look, I don't have any association with Doublewide. In fact, I don't know any single player on the team. But when they play well, you just love the way they play. They play the way Ultimate should be played. But there's something bizarre about them where they just have these incredible lapses in sort of concentration, and it's maddening to watch. So here on the 5th point, At 7:06, they have a turnover that's just nothing but lack of concentration. The guy goes to throw a dump, but instead of stepping back to throw the dump pass around the marker, as he normally would, he sort of steps forward and tries to throw a backhand or on the other side to somebody cutting behind the marker. You actually have to watch it a couple times to even figure out what happened. It's inexplicable. They get the disc back, though. At 8:15, they're patiently working the disc up the field, and then all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, just boom, force hammered cross field that goes, that misses. No reason to do that. No, I mean, they're patiently working the disc up the field, and those other points I mentioned, they're just taking what's given. Truck stop's not stopping them, and then all of a sudden, you have two terrible turns here. And then they get the disc back again. And at 8:54, this is actually where they get the disc back with a short field, and somebody throws a high floaty pass into the back of the end zone that ends up going out the back. It's just, you don't even know what to say. I mean, go back to the first 2 points I mentioned, and then look at this. You can't believe you're watching the same team. And the last one, I'm sorry, I forgot to write down the time. It's just pure execution error. The guy's throwing a 20-yard forehand swing pass that just gets away from him. Something you just can't. If you want to win nationals, you just can't have those sorts of execution errors happen. I mean, the good news for Doublewide is that it's early in the season, and those tend to go away. And their turns are usually not execution errors, so that's good news for them. But some of the decisions here in turns when they're not concentrating are just horrible. And I want to talk a little bit about why this matters. Okay, so why does this matter? I mean, the obvious reason why it matters is Revolver's not going to give you the disc back, Doublewide. So if you're going to have a lot of bad turnovers like this, you're going to be fine against teams that you're better than, and you're clearly better than Truck Stop, at least at this point in the season from this game. But Revolver's not going to give you the disc back, so you can't have turns like that. But the second thing is when you win, if you're winning games and you're looking to get to the finals of nationals, you got to win 7 games at nationals to get to the finals. Okay, each turn creates 2 extra possessions. Your opponent has a possession, and then you have a possession to get back to where you would have been before the turn. So 6 bad unforced turns a game is 12 extra possessions a game times 7 games is 84 extra possessions to get to the finals. So by having these bad turns, you're basically, to get to the finals of nationals, you're basically, for no reason at all, playing the equivalent of 2 extra games, 84 possessions. And so if you cut these turnovers back, you're going to go into the finals of nationals with your legs and your mental energy like they were in the quarters 2 games ago, instead of with these 84 extra possessions. And you're doing this to yourself. I mean, this is the only flaw in Doublewide's game right now. They have a great deep game, they have great athleticism, they have great defense, but the flaw is this mental concentration that at nationals, to get to the finals, is going to force them to play something like 84 unnecessary extra possessions. And I don't care how hard you train or in what kind of shape you're in, 84 extra possessions is going to wear on you. You'd rather not have that. Okay, so let's go to some of the things that are really good now. Okay, so like the last 2 games with Ironside, I counted the hucks and took a look at how they worked out. Truck Stop completed 1 out of 9 huck attempts, which obviously is terrible, and Truck Stop needs to spend a lot of time looking at this film and figuring out why they're doing that. Doublewide completed 7 out of 9, which is actually refreshing. Because we were seeing completion rates on huck attempts in like 50% or 33% in the Ironside Sockeye game. So Doublewide has some nice hucks here, and there's 3 I want to focus on in particular. They have a couple of bad ones, but let's focus on the good ones. So 6 point from 9:58 to 10:34. The disc swings over here. You'll see the 2 deep players when the disc swings. The 2 deep players from Doublewide don't clog deep. One tries to go and he comes back in, and then the person who swung the disc over here makes a deep cut around the back. The huck goes way out to space and he easily runs it down. Really, really nice play. Nice throw out to space. Nice work by the players who were originally deep, not clogging the deep. Really, really well done. Okay, the second one I want to take a look at is the 13th point, right around 1936, right when number 28 gets the disc here, sort of, a little bit towards the sideline. The guy who swung on the disc is going to go back here. You'll see there's somebody coming in deep, coming this way, which is nice. You'll see these two players here who are not in position really to do anything. So importantly, they don't do anything. They just keep their defender occupied, which is so important. Person comes across the field here. The disc goes to him. This person then turns and makes a cut to the corner of the end zone. And once again, you have a really nice, easy throw out to space and an easy goal for double wide. This is really great execution. And again, focus on these two guys here who aren't in position to really do that much. They just occupy their defender, keep the space open deep, and it creates a really easy goal for double wide. So these guys have to get a lot of credit, and that's why I say double wide is very good at creating space. Really, really good. One last one. Okay, and the last one I think is worth really taking a look at is at 24-25. Sorry, I forget which point this is in, but the disc swings over to this side of the field. And this offensive player from double wide is cutting here. But he has a defender who shuts off that side of the field very well. However, none of the double wide cutter's teammates clog the deep lane. Sometimes you can see them on the screen, sometimes not, but there's three guys over there. They keep their defenders occupied. He's able to turn and go over here, where the whole field is open, and you get a really nice throw to space over here. Now this looks like an amazing throw, and and to some extent it is, but to another extent this is probably like a 60-yard backhand. At top level club, I mean, just about anybody can throw this throw. It's these guys here keeping their defenders occupied that leave that space open for this cutter, and he just gets a really easy goal. So this is really great execution. And again, this is sort of what I said is the maddening thing about watching double wide. When they're good, they're really, really good. And so what they have to focus on and put a lot of time in between now and Sarasota is eliminating this lack of concentration that sometimes sort of takes over for them. But anyway, this is a great game, and there are lots and lots of lessons. I mean, you can look at sort of also start asking yourself why truck stops, hucks were almost never complete. Great lesson, great game. Really love that UltiVillage is doing this. Thanks for watching Ultimate Project 20. I hope you enjoyed it.